Hello, today I'd like to build a solder helper hand. So what it does is it will help me hold this circuit board. So this is a circuit board that I want to have something clamp on and hold it to the two sides so that I can solder on whatever I need to do with this. So I have a piece of aluminum. So this is like a made by 8020 or some competitor or something like that. So what I want to do is I want to have two slide mechanisms going in and out, and they will use this rail as the base, so that, and then they will have feet, so feet hang it off, and they will allow it to come in and out, and they will adjust, and then you can hold, it will then hold on this PCB right here into position wherever I want. So both of these, there would be two legs, one leg here, one leg here. They will slide in and out, and they should be able to hold this PCB in place for me. So I want to kind of wrap around this and hold it so it will be sturdy. It will not like shift back and forth, because it will have these slots right here to allow it to slide it in and out, and then have it will remove the ability to rock back and forth. So let's get started. The size of this guy is 20 millimeters. So I just throw my calipers up on here. Yeah, we got 19.9. I'll just round it up to 20. I'll increase it a little bit because I don't want it super tight. The plastic may shrink. And but yeah. And then to lock the piece into position, I'll probably have like a little set screw inside of there. And then I will probably have maybe some 5/16 inch threaded rod that I can twist and hold and get it to where it will, you can adjust it, and then it closes in and out. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to use Onshape free version, and this will be available for free, and you can download this if you want. So just have to go to find my projects. So I'm going to go create a document, and we're going to call this a solder helper. All right, we're going to hide a couple planes. So just go over here to the eyeball. We're going to click on, we're going to start with the front view. So we want to hide top, just click there and right. Okay. And then we can get this guy positioned in. We can grab this and throw it down here, and ready to go. All right, so first of all, I want just a flat view of my piece, and I'll make like the legs, so it's going to have you know, a form to it. So we're going to start a sketch on the front view right here, and we're going to just start our first area. So we usually want to start with a lined rectangle, or I'm sorry, we usually want to start with a center point rectangle. Click here, and it's going to be tall and skinny. I'll measure these in a few minutes here. So now I want to have a leg, and I will do one side and mirror it together. So let's create this. We want to kind of go down that far right there, and then we can click here. No, if it does that, you just gotta get back over there and yep, just kind of go back to that origin point, and then it should fix that for you. Okay, so there we go, and we'll fix these dimensions in a second. So how tall do I want this? Well, let's see, I want it approximately, let's say 100 millimeters tall. Maybe not 100. We'll play around with this. 75, or yeah, 75 millimeters tall sounds good to me. So total height is 75. And by the way, we are working in millimeters. So, and then total width, I want it to be from here to here. Distance here to here. Come on. Nope, escape out of that. Let's go back in the distance. Click a little check. from there to here. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, it's 75 will be good. So it's going to be 150 millimeters wide, okay? And that should fit just fine on my 3D printer. My 3D printer will allow me to print, you know, 200 millimeters, 200 by 200 by 180. All right, so we got to trim this guy here. We're going to hit our trim function right here, or M, and then we can trim that, get that. And now we will, let's get this size right here. We want this here to here, so let's click on that dimension, D for dimension, by the way. So if I use the D, I can get faster. So we'll make this like 25. So 25 thick total, so 12.5 each side. There we are. And now we need a hole inside of here. So we're going to create, actually, we're going to trim this guy down. So this here will be the same level as that right there. Okay, so here to here, like I said, we're going to mirror this. So this is going to be 0. And I broke it. Undo, Control Z. It didn't like that because I made this rectangle began off of the center right here, so that's why it broke. So I can actually decrease this. Let's change this to, we're going to divide this by 2. There we are. So then the next piece will be the same size. So then it will be, should be 25 total. Okay. So now what I want is maybe an angle here. We can say this angle here to here is 15 degrees or so. We can add some material, you know, cutouts here, material savers, stuff like that. So let's get in our size of our rail. So now we're gonna need to add just a normal rectangle. And this will dimension this here to here. It's gonna be like 5 millimeters. And then here to here, we're gonna call this 10 millimeters, you know, half of the 20. And then we can go to our M, hit M for trim. And just trim, just take it right over top of those. And that cuts it out. So now we gotta make this size right here. And then we're gonna click on that, get out of it. D for dimension, go here to here. And this is gonna be 20, okay? And it looks like we might be having an issue. It's getting very close to that edge, so we're going to add some size to this. So let's say 20. There we go. That looks nice. All right, and if we want to have that little notch right there, we can measure this out. I want to have like a notch. I want this to slide into it, and then it will not rotate because it's got a notch inside of there. So let's measure that inner size of this guy. And this is 6 millimeters. Okay, so we're gonna have a 6 millimeter notch, and then we want to take it in, let's say 7 millimeters. So we're gonna take it in 7 millimeters. So we're gonna create a little notch, and this little notch, I'll go over here to rectangle again. We're gonna click here, and we're just gonna create that right there, and now we can start dimensioning that. So I said it was about 7 here, and 6 for the inner, I think, right? 6 point, yeah, that's good. I'll make it a little bit smaller. I don't want to exact the size, so I will do, let's see. Undo that, Control Z. I'm going to go back and do the dimension this guy to this guy, and it's going to be like 6.5. There we go. So that's a notch. Actually, I'm sorry. I need to be smaller. So let's go with 5.8 or 5.5. 5.5. All right. And now, so 7 millimeters from the bottom. This is going to be a little bit bigger. Yeah, that's good. So, and then this one, let's see what this one is. Here to here is 7.5. So we can make that 7.25. And then we can make this 7.25. There we are, and then we can, that should be everything, that should be correct. So 14, 7 plus 7, 14.5 plus 5.5, so that should be 20. So we can get rid of that 20 dimension and everything looks proper now. It looks like it all worked. So let's go into trim. We're gonna trim this little area right here. Actually, we're gonna trim opposite. Okay. There we are, and then the depth of that guy, so I don't want to make that too deep, and so I can use my calipers here. I can use this little guy right here, and I can find the depth of that, so just put the depth inside of there. I'll show you what it's doing. So take that little guy right there, push it down, see how it's sitting flat on there, and now that's my dimension right there, and that is 6.22. Okay, 6.22, no, I'm not sure if you can see that, but so that is, we'll make this 5 millimeters. So D for dimension, click here, 5. All right, and I would suggest, okay, I just got out of the sketch. I would suggest let's mirror this as, we'll extrude it first and then we'll mirror it. But let's do a cutout here. We don't want it so thick. Doesn't need to be that thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an offset here. So go over here to O, offset that guy. We're going to click on this guy. We're going to flip them inside this one and this one. Yep, perfect. All right, and we'll just say enter. That confirms it. Okay. And now I just want to take a line 5 millimeters from this surface right here, that line, not surface. So line L for line, and we can just go straight down. We can go right there. Okay, hit L to get out of that. And then now we can hit M to trim, M to trim, and then D for dimension. D, this guy, DD, and we're gonna do like 5 millimeters, okay? And now if you want, you can do pretty fillet here. Let's see, pull this back. What size? That's fine. It doesn't have to be any real value. And then we're gonna put a little fillet on here. Actually, we could change it to 1.25. That's fine. Now we're gonna do one here. Just click on both of those guys, left click, and then there we go. Okay, next one. Enter to get out of that dialog box. Okay. Left click, enter. Okay, looks like it's good. Now we're going to hit green check. Now we're actually ready to extrude. So we're going to go over here to extrude. I'm going to click on this outside area right here. And if we want to add, a little radii and stuff, we can do that now or later. I'll just skip it for now. So what I want to do now is I want to do the extrude, and I think I want it maybe 10 millimeters thick. So 10 millimeters thick is right here, about that much distance. Okay, so I think that's pretty good thickness wise, and you'll play around with this and see if it's the correct size. And now, since that's my basic shape right there, I'm going to add a nice radius right here and a couple of radii here. We can clean this guy up, make it look pretty. We can do that in a sketch, or we can do it outside. So I would say the sketch is probably best because then it is controlled and maintained. So click that guy, enter. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, enter. Just left. All right, and these I will leave sharp because I'm going to combine them. And this one right here, I will do a fillet here. I'll skip that for now. But anyway, that is that. Okay, so now I will do a mirror. I will mirror this and do that. I want to do right here, mirror function. So entity to mirror is this guy, and then mirror plane is that face right there. Say okay. And now this should fit in my, so that should slide right into there, okay? The two notches on the side will align it and will prevent it from falling forward and backwards, okay? They may have to be strong, pretty strong, because this may have a little weight on it. I'm, just throwing things out. And I need to have a hole right here, so we can add that hole afterwards. That hole will allow us to put the threaded rod inside of here, so 5/16 threaded rod, and we can try to make the threads for that or we can grab a threaded rod and we can do like a subtract. I don't want it very tight though. I just want it nice and easy. So, but I think that's pretty good. What else can I think about? Do I need any type of set screw going into here? The set screw, what that would do is that would then lock it into position. So let's say this here kind of extruded out and I had a set screw in there, and that set screw would then, you know, you would tighten it down on one of these edges right here. So that could be, you know, an idea to do. That way it won't like slide in and out very easy. Let's see. So I think this is the good basic start of it. I do need a hole here, so let's create that hole right now, and we can actually do a sketch on this face right here. We could do half a hole in the original sketch, or we'll just resketch on here. So okay, we're gonna put a hole right here, and like I said, it's gonna be a 5/16 inch threaded rod. So I wonder if I can find anything online for that. Give me a minute. All right, so I'm going to mcmastercar.com and I typed in threaded rod. So here we go for threaded rod, and I want to go inch, and I want to see 5/16. Where's 5? This is length, so we want like 5/16. There we go. And so I just bought this at Lowe's or Home Depot, you know, someplace, a local place that I can get this stuff from. I think I have this on hand already. So all I want to do is see if I can download a 3D model of it. So let me choose 8-inch, sure. We want threads, solid 3D step. That's going to have threads. So I do want that. So that's a step model. So now I can go to my Onshape and grab this, throw it over here. So now I should be able to grab this whole, I should be able to take that piece and extrude it out. So let's close out that sketch. We'll fix that in a minute. I don't think I even need a sketch. I'm going to try to import this new piece. So let's go to import way down here at the bottom left. So we're going to click on that. And we're going to go to import. We're going to go to my downloads, and we're going to grab this guy right here, threaded rod. Okay, so open, import appearances, import into this document. Sounds good. So okay, it's importing now. We should see a new pop up on the bottom here. There it is. Okay, so that's our threaded rod. So now we got to get this threaded rod into this part right here. So let's do I think I want to go to the assembly here. And I want to import those two guys. Let's go insert, rod, and this guy. All right, just gonna click there. Say okay. Now I should be able to take this guy, and I should be able to do some rotations and fix the orientation of this guy. So 90 degrees. We're gonna find the direct center of this right here. So let me chop that hole inside of there. I just want to like a hole to where it is kind of the alignment hole. So go back to our studio. So let's fix this. Actually, let's extrude that. I'm gonna make it smaller though. Let's get a dimension on there. Let's make it like 5 millimeters. So we're doing with this is metric, and the rod itself is inch imperial. So we're going to go to extrude, grab that guy right there. We're going to extrude this guy through. Okay, and we're going to do a remove. Click OK. So that removed it. So now we can go back to assembly, and now that should update automatically. Now we want to put this rod inside of there, and we want to subtract out this rod from there. So let's go to slider mate, or what's this? Revolute mate, fasten mate. Cylindrical mate. Okay, we're gonna go there. We're gonna click on this cylindrical face right here. Let's see if I can get off that. I want that guy, yes. And I want to mate that with this guy. There we are. Now we can see it's going through there. That's just fine. Now we say, okay. Actually, let's get out of there. All right, we are in the hole, so that's good. So now we can do a, let's check and see if we can do an intersection between these two and remove the interference area. All right, want to left click on this guy, right click. And now what I want to do is I want to edit in context. Okay, so that should allow me to, I'm in the Part 1 studio, but I'm still seeing the high strength rod. And what I want to do is I want to do a intersection between the two. So let's go to Boolean, and I want to do, actually I could do a subtract. Let's see if I can do a subtract. I'm going to click on my target, which is this guy, and my tool, which is this guy, and let's see what happens. Say okay. Look, the threads appeared. Pretty awesome. This may be rather tight as it is, but let's go back to the assembly. Now we can actually go back to Part Studio 1, and now we see those threads are in there. Now we want to make these faces. I want to thicken them, go to thicken, and we're going to make them actually a little bit smaller. So we're going to remove material. So we're going to remove, and this guy too, and we're going to remove maybe 0.2 material. Let's see if it lets us do that. Okay, and the reason I want to do that is I want it to slide in there a lot easier. We don't want it line to line. So let's go to there. Let's go here. Let's go to the assembly, and let's look inside of our assembly. We're going to go to our section. So if we want to do a section, we click on this guy right here, section view. We're going to click on this plane right here as my starting plane, and then I can section that through. Now we can look through here and we can see what's going on. So we see it line to line there, but not line to line. So I need to choose the other surfaces too. So I can click on that right there. We kind of keep that section. We're going back to Part Studio, and now we're going to do thicken. We're going to change the thicken, and we're going to modify this face right here too. So it looks like there's more than one face inside of here. Let's choose multiple faces. Okay, we want all the faces chosen. Let's see what if it complains. We can get, says there's one face it doesn't like, or actually many faces. Okay, and actually it looks okay now. But what did it do? I don't know. Let's undo that. Let's delete that thicken. Let's go back and re-thicken. I'm going to choose this face and that face, and we're doing a remove. We're doing a 0.2. Let's choose that face, that face. Okay, and that face, and that face. Didn't like that one though. You know what I might be able to do? Go back to my high strength, go back to this guy, and we can thicken these guys. Let's see what happens if I thicken these and make them actually thicker. So the other one I was trying to do the opposite, remove material. Right now I just want to thicken these by 0.25, and we're adding material. So we want to choose that, this face. I want to choose basically everything, thicken everything. So let's go with just hover over everything. All right, looks like that worked. Okay, say okay. So it looked like it grew a little bit. So let's go back to our part studio, and it should have automatically updated this guy because of our initial subtraction. Actually, it looks like it's interfering now. So what we can do is we can do a let's get back into the context. So we're going to left click, right click, and we're going to go back into context, edit in context, context 1. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Maybe I can just do an update context. Let me left click, right click, update context, because I did say subtract the boolean out. So I should, yeah, it worked. All right, so now the size of a rod is actually a little bit bigger. And that size of the rod now, so this is not the original size rod. This is 0.25 bigger everywhere. So the original rod is smaller, so therefore it should work inside of here. Now, I would suggest let's 3D print a small sample of this. Like, I think this is 10 millimeters total height, so I think that's good. We can print one of these and we can see how well that prints, and that will tell us, you know, is this hole sufficient? Or you could actually, here's what we could do, make it really simple. If you want to chop it right here, yeah, we could chop it, and we could only do the top section and make sure our threaded rod fits inside of there. So that's one thing. If we want to chop this one, we could chop that too and check and see if our extruded aluminum works through there. So I'm going to print this out as it is. I think this should be okay, and I want to check and see if this rod prints properly. So let me print that out, and I will do a follow-up video to this one and you know, show my progress on this. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something and gained some knowledge on Onshape. Onshape is a very nice, robust piece of software and totally free. So like and subscribe. Thanks.